I think what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna address the Marvel and DC universe and where they're at right now, what we've seen, and some of the movies have come out. The good, the bad, the worse, the really bad.
And full disclosure, Mr. Rudy here has not seen The Flash yet.
No. The one that just came out last week, I have not seen.
Bro,
Well,
the
last
hype
Friday.
has been like the biggest ever, and you still haven't seen it yet?
No,
Come on, bro.
I'm a busy guy, man. I'm a busy guy.
You're a disappointment.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I want
Same
to say,
thing
like,
for you.
the thing I noticed now is that the first thing we should cover is this Red Band trailer for Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my suggestion is we watch together right now and react to it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'll go first. It has like Captain America Winter Soldier vibes. I'll admit I'm not that familiar with the backstory with Kraven the Hunter. I thought he was more like I don't know, like a human type of role than like this guy jumping off the walls type of deal. But I kind of like it. Something different.
He had powers. You said Captain America. I look at it as more of a blend of Winter Soldier and Wolverine.
Well, what I meant was like the scene in the streets, jumping on the vehicles. It looked like that type of movie.
No, I'm talking about the Wolverine movie when he's in Japan, and Winter Soldier movie. It looks like it's shot like that. So that looked really cool the way how they shot
The
it.
sequence, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did remember it was something about an animal.
I think it's got a lot of potential. It might be the first thing Sony has come out with by itself that might be a huge hit.
You guys think it's going to tie in with Spider-Man?
It has to. But just not sure which Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because it could be attached to Tobey Maguire.
There was a rumor for the Tom Holland Spider-Man 3 was going to be tied in with Kraven the Hunter, where he was on the run and he was going to look out for and capture him. Did you hear, guys? Did you guys hear about that one?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like Kraven's Last Hunt potential.
Something like that.
That's only if they couldn't get the other two. Like if they couldn't get the other two Spider-Men, they were going to go with Kraven's Last Hunt. They were going to tie it into that.
And that is Quicksilver, right? That's playing.
What's Quicksilver?
There was two of them.
Yeah. So from.
Oh yeah. From MCU. I mean, I think they picked a good person to play Kraven. I'm surprised he doesn't have an accent because Kraven has an accent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
Like Quicksilver.
No, like
that was horrible because like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch both had an accent, and then by the next movie they were perfect English, or by WandaVision, perfect English was just crazy. But it almost wants me, after seeing the trailer, I almost want to say that this guy would have been good for a Wolverine. It looked very Wolverine-ish to me, right?
I always knew he can get big, killer for a role, but I didn't imagine him as Wolverine until now. But I'm glad they didn't cast him as Wolverine.
How so? Who's your Wolverine?
I think they could use anybody, to be honest with you. I mean, I've seen it where they've even used Henry Radcliffe. Is that name saying it right? Harry Potter.
Yeah. Harry Potter, dude.
I mean, here's why I like him. He'll be the right size. He just has to get super bulky. Like Hugh Jackman, obviously, is great, but he's fucking 6'3".
Yeah, I was thinking Jon Snow. What is Kit Harington?
Can't. They're using him in MCU.
Yeah,
He's already going to be Black Knight.
No, look, in all honesty, the best person to have played it would have been Hardy because he just fits the grizzly look,
But that kind of contradicts your thing about the height.
He's not tall.
What?
He's not.
No way.
Look it up.
Who is it? Who's not tall?
forget his first name. Last name Hardy.
Oh, Tom
Plays
Hardy.
Venom. Tom, yeah. Tom Hardy's not tall. I'd say he's maybe
5'9".
5'8".
Oh wow, 5'9". Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, in all honesty, ideally, like if it was the comic book accurate, and this is not a joke, even though it's gonna be hilarious.
Don't say Danny DeVito, please.
No, he'd be Rolly's height.
Yeah.
Like, in all honesty, I'm not trying to make a joke. He would be your height. And just imagine someone your height, extremely jacked up.
Yeah, right. And very hairy, right? With a full-on beard, maybe.
Yeah. Like someone, that's something you can't do. But my beard on your body with a lot
Rudy's
more.
already painted a picture and everything.
Oh yes, baby.
Rudy, send that over to that AI Photoshop thingy you have and see what it comes out.
I will. Mix Rolly and Jay. Mix this two together.
You know what?
Just make him jacked.
I'm intrigued on how they're using Rhino. Like he's a natural, some sort of chemical falls on his arm, and he becomes a rhino.
Yeah.
Now, would he be considered a mutant too, or that's not yet?
Me, if he's using a vial of something to turn into that, no.
Yeah. Same thing with Kraven, right? Because of the blood that we see in the trailer. But I mean, Rhino's supposed to be a suit, right?
I mean, it's a suit in one thing, but he's actually a rhino in another world. Like in
Elseworlds or
in Garfield, in Andrew Garfield's world, it's a suit. Probably in Tobey Maguire's world, it's an actual guy that becomes a rhino. Like that's why I'm wondering, because they played this off as using Rhino, not a suit. Is this Tobey Maguire, not Andrew Garfield? Or it could be Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But I think it eliminates Garfield.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but it did look pretty cool. Whatever it is, him turning into that, that's going to be a good fight, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So besides that, what else is going on around the super? I mean, we haven't talked in a couple of months, man.
James, when does this trailer drop? Because I didn't even get it. I didn't know about this one. Yesterday. Oh, wow. Happy Father's Day, huh?
Yeah. And I mean, it looks
Rudy,
legit.
happy Father's Day, too, from all of us here. You're the only dad over here, huh?
You're a
That's
dad
right.
too, bro. Rolly, you're a dad.
Well, that's the kids that we're all dads here, huh, James?
I mean, I got kids somewhere. I'm not sure where.
Hey, being dad of a pet is not a dad. Tom Segura said it best, right? Like, you can love a dog to death, but if that dog bit your kid, you will fuck that dog up. You would not jump in front of a bullet for that dog. I'm telling you what. So thank you. It was a nice Father's Day. Chilling, drinking, and doing all that.
I mean,
Grill or what happened?
No, they took me out to eat. They took me out to eat to a seafood restaurant. So it was great. Had some octopus. Oh yeah. But yeah. I will watch The Flash tomorrow, so please don't spoil it. But yeah, give your initial reactions, man. Like, give good, bad. I mean, the hype has been there for months.
Go first, James, because I can't.
So Flash, a lot of hype, and it did not live up to the hype.
No.
You know, I was thinking this was going to be the DCU finally one-upping Marvel on something, and it fell extremely fucking short. This, and honestly, it comes down to the main guy. You know, I think.
Are you talking about the story arc?
I think the story itself, the story's missing things. Not that I'm trying to compare it to what we've read in comic books, just in general, in comparison to another movie in any genre, it's missing things like a bad guy. There is no bad guy. And the acting by Who's the kid that plays Flash?
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
I don't know if he was trying to go for someone that's more flamboyant, more immature, more. I don't know what type of character he was trying to portray.
Well,
Barry Allen.
That depends which Barry Allen are you talking about, though.
Our main timeline.
Okay, all right.
Let's put it this way. I think the other long-haired Barry Allen, he did a better job acting that person than he did the main actor, the main timeline.
The character itself that we're referring to wasn't very solidified as a Flash person to be the main character of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think he played. He played a very. He played Barry Allen like someone that's just going through puberty now, and he's well in his 20s when we caught up with him.
All right.
You know, because the other Barry Allen's a teenager. You know, still immature, still a teenager. He played that great, but trying to portray a 20-year-old Barry Allen, the acting was so bad.
Now, let me ask you this though, because I know that you.
Wait, can I go next, Rudy, before you start your questions? Since you haven't seen the movie yet.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna have to contradict with James here a little bit, only because and I have to compare with the Barry Allen from the movie, from the Barry Allen to the TV series. He did kind of started a little immature once he had his powers. He was learning about the right and wrongs of going back in time and learning still, and I understand what you're saying about, Barry Allen barely going to college compared to Barry Allen graduated already working in the same movie. But again, we and I know what you're coming from, and without spoiling anything for this guy over here, it should be, and I agree with you, a learning experience for Barry Allen. But at the end, it doesn't seem like he learned much about it, because you've seen what happened afterwards. It's like, oh wow! Like, despite the fact whatever he did, and I agree with you about the villain too, because normally you have, and I really wanted to see Reverse Flash or Savitar or Death Racer or something, but in the end you ended up seeing just a reincarnation of the same person, which
I think what the director's plan was, and what he had filmed, was one story. When the shakeup at DC happened, a lot of things got cut out, and now it made it an incomplete story for me.
Well, rumor has it that there's 3 different endings.
Well, my point, okay, it's similar to, in my head, how they cut the latest Fantastic Four. You know how they cut it and things were just happening, like, why did that just happen? Like, that's how this is cut. It's just cut wrong, and I don't like his acting, Ezra Miller's acting as main Barry Allen. What were you going to say, Rudy?
No, I was just going to say, like, I know you are a tough critic, and rightfully so, because you look for storyline inconsistencies with past movies, right? Every time we talk about it, I mean, or comic books or whatever. But as someone that just saw the trailer, right, and that I haven't seen the movie, as a standalone movie, right? And I know that you said that there's holes in the storyline. I'm guessing because it's not true to the comic book, maybe, or is it true, or is it just as a standalone movie it has holes and it sucked, or is it one of those where, like, okay, yeah, like I can go sit down for 2 hours and I'll be entertained? Or is it like a don't even bother type bad movie, right? Like, don't even, like Morbius.
No. It's not a don't even bother. It's not Morbius. It's not that. It's more.
That's the thing now to say. This movie's not a Morbius.
So, like, it's more. And I'm comparing it to any movie. Forget about comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about comic books. In comparison to any movie, it's missing certain things. It makes you feel unfulfilled. Is it entertaining? It's as entertaining as, like, when we were kids watching Van Damme movies. That's how entertaining it is. Mm-hmm. But as we grow up, we're just like, okay, we need more. We need some meat and potatoes type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Feel fulfilled, and it's missing something.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I agree with James inside. Like, for example, the cameos, I feel like it was like added on just to justify the movie in itself. Like, and I don't want to spoil it, Rudy, but you're gonna see a lot of cameos, but it's just in that little special spot of that movie where it's just like, you know what, we're drowning, I feel like, and we got to save the movie. Here's a little doggy treats for you to
100%.
enjoy it.
And
Yeah. So go ahead, hold on. And the whole Michael Keaton thing is all nostalgia. You're like, oh wow, this is so cool. But that's about it, though. It doesn't really help with the whole story arc of the movie. For me,
it loses its luster.
yeah, I really wanted to see like a real villain for the Flash, and there's so many that could have been used. Specifically, Reverse Flash. He's the guy, and let's admit it. This movie was based on Flashpoint Paradox. All right, but it was their different version of it, and I don't know if because James Gunn tried to go with a different direction, they changed it a bit. But like that whole Reverse Flash Paradox thing was a great story in itself, and they could have easily done that. Why they didn't go with that route, I don't know.
Before I go into something, Rudy, did you have a question?
No, go for it. Go for it.
So, you know how they could have fixed it, and I really think if they had tweaked, they would have to tweak the story that we know a little bit more, but it would have given us more continuity. So if they had brought in, you know, that we knew Michael Keaton's in, right? If they had changed his backstory a little bit, so we know Michael Keaton was Batman up to Batman 2 with Michelle Pfeiffer playing Selena Kyle. If they had shown they had gotten married, right? And then had a kid, and that kid gets killed, right? That would give us almost like a Thomas Wayne character, but it would have been Bruce Wayne. And then Selena Kyle could have been the Joker in the New World. And like, you know, because whoever they had Damian, they could have just. I know I'm switching from a lot of different versions, but it would have been like Bruce Wayne marries Selena Kyle. They have Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne gets killed while Selena Kyle, and mind you, as a baby, not like he was grown up, gets killed as a baby while Selena's been trying to take care of him. She was out and about trying to live a normal life. That loss of her child makes her go nuts. She becomes the Joker in that world. And then you could have gone from there, and you could have had a bad guy and seen Bruce Wayne become more Thomas Wayne-like as Batman from like Paradox.
Yeah, there could have been a lot of things that could have done with this film. Like in I don't know which movie it was where they showed the guy from The Walking Dead being Thomas Wayne, and he was supposed to have been the Batman in the Flashpoint Paradox. Yeah. Or there was another thing I was thinking about where how cool would it have been, and it was a rumor where Michael Keaton was going to be the Batman from Batman Beyond, and Terry McGinnis was going to be introduced in that.
That would have been amazing. Amazing.
Right? And I'm sorry, Rudy, I don't want to spoil anything, but with the Flash alone, kind of justified the fact that Michael Keaton should have been old Bruce Wayne to play for Batman Beyond. Like
they should have made him. They should just made him his age. Michael Keaton's age, and go from there. He's like at least high 60s. Mm-hmm. Just play that role.
And it would have been perfect to have that included in the movie. So, like, and again, without spoiling anything, Rudy, this had so much potential for all these other reasons, but they didn't do it.
Now, let me ask you this, right? Because I know I saw, like, and when you said cameos, I know there's Supergirl too, like Ben Affleck. I saw a little bit in the trailer, but overall, like, does it plant a seed for any future movies, whether it's Flash or any just this DC universe?
No, this falls in that category where that's it.
Like,
because
let's put it this way: the ending tells you there's no real future for the Flash and Ezra Miller.
So you remember we were promised that this is going to be a reset,
yeah,
or it's going to start from there. I don't really see that happening with what we saw, even with the after credit scenes.
Yeah, and that's why I was asking, because this was supposed to be like, okay, like the reboot of the DC universe, and it's just gonna be uphill from now, right? And so it's not setting anything up. I mean, okay.
No, and even James Gunn addressed it over the weekend, saying that it's
he said Blue Beetle is going to be the beginning of
the first one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we're not even going to talk about Shazam too, huh?
No, that's not happening, and I mean, they're not. Honestly, this Flash movie was just like, all right, we spent this much money, this is what we got.
Right. Because
but yeah,
even
a lot of nostalgia.
Right?
Oh yeah, no, that I don't think we're allowed to talk about that anymore.
I mean, so we're that's going to leak someday. That's going to leak. I mean, you can't have a full blown movie done, and all it was waiting for was the release date, and they said, you know what, fuck it.
Well, who knows? Like, there's a rumor Kevin Smith has a copy of that Schumacher Batman Forever.
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see it.
Schumacher, he sucks.
Yeah. Okay. I still want to see. I want to see what was their version of that movie.
It would have been super gay.
Are we going to talk about that super cameo at the end of that movie, or we just leave it for Rudy to find out?
Let Rudy see it. I want him to see it.
I mean, but still, I mean, okay, but and I'm probably gonna go anyway. But I'm planning on going tomorrow. Should I still go? I mean, it's still worth.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, you have to, bro. You have to see it for yourself, and don't let our opinion interfere your experience. But me growing up with my favorite Batman being Michael Keaton and loving the series of The Flash on TV with the CW, this didn't really reach to the expectation that I had personally. I don't know about you, James.
All right, so let me ask you this. So
TV show.
Based on the movies that we've seen this year, right? So we were going to throw an Ant-Man in there, maybe the Mario Bros. Movie, Dungeons and Dragons. What am I missing?
Thor
wasn't this year,
wasn't it?
What?
I'm sorry, it's all a blur for me.
I don't know. I haven't seen Transformers either, but
I'll tell you this much. I could tell you what the top three.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
The top three for me have been in no particular order: Super Mario Brothers, Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse.
That one was fun.
And probably Dungeons and Dragons.
Really?
You didn't like Guardians, bro?
I think Guardians fell short. I thought it was just an added to the story. I think it fell short of being impactful. And I think Transformers was very entertaining, but certain things about it, some of the human actors I didn't care for. Like whoever the girls they used, didn't think she was a good actress either. I think the main guy did a great job.
All right.
Chris Pratt.
So with that,
are you talking about Gamora?
No,
you don't like how
Transformers, fool.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So
the guy from Hamilton, I forget his name. I think he's Puerto Rican or something. He did a great job. The leading lady in the movie, they could have picked a million other people to do a better job.
All right, so let's take it step by step, because I definitely probably do want to talk about a little bit of all these movies and your reactions. But Guardians, you said it fell short. So like, what specifically about it do you think? Because I walked out of it and I was like, man, this was a great movie. And I don't know if because it touched a lot of the feels, right? A lot of my feels with Rocket. But what what was missing in your opinion?
I didn't think they had a really good feel good story in it, because I want to know more about Star-Lord and his life than I do of Rocket. To me, Rocket is a side character. He's hilarious. He's a funny guy in the movie. But for me, I want to know more about Star-Lord. And if they had showed him, you know how they had the after credit. Wait, first of all, you guys both seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody saw it.
Okay, the after credit scene, I wish that was more in the plot of the movie. Him going back to Earth, reestablishing something, there being a threat on Earth again. No, I'm sick. I don't find fulfillment in threats in outer space constantly, like staying in space. I need it to be something I can compare it to in fake real life. Like, okay, oh, he's back on Earth. This is what we got to do. I think that's where the MCU has fallen short. They keep going further away from Earth and trying to telling stories. With now the Marvels coming out, that's going to be in outer space. The thing that's why I'm hyped about Secret Invasions, because that's everyone's coming back down to Earth, and I think that's where stories should be part of. I think space and other planets should be an added bonus.
Yeah, I agree in the sense of that I think I used to feel or still feel the same way about comic books, right? Like once it starts getting into like all the intricacies of the galaxy and all that, like it there's a lot of words, and there's like it kind of loses you from like the regular just action packed, right, comic book that's on Earth. But at the same time, I feel like, man, like, I mean, even with Thanos, I mean, he's such a badass, right? And that could destroy the Earth, well, and like half the universe, just like that. I mean, but who else do you have as a villain? Like if you go higher, right, like Galactus or Kang or whatever, you have to, I feel like, expand it to outer space, because man, those guys, like, Earth is nothing. And
there's nothing wrong with that. My point is the way Endgame was filmed, where you had a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And you had
the threat was Earth, right? Because you could relate to Earth. Yeah, and I 100% agree.
I mean, that's how I want to take it. I want space in scenes, but I want scenes on Earth again.
Yeah.
I can't. There's only so much I could live up in the space world and think, oh, okay.
Yeah,
there's no character, not even Nova, I want to see live on space constantly. The Nova I like, unfortunately, is the Nova that teams up with Spider-Man in the cartoons.
Exactly. Exactly.
I have a thought, James, and no disrespect to your thing, but
Shut up.
it is Guardians of the Galaxy, not Guardians of the United States. So this movie has to take place in the outside part of the outer space. And you're entitled to your opinion about, you want to hear more about Star-Lord, but I actually love the story about Rocket. It kind of gave us more of a backstory of what happened, because from the beginning in the first film, I was like, what happened? Because he had all these things connected to his body. It wasn't very clear what happened, and in the end, for me, it kind of gave us closure of a lot of the backstory that we all had questions about. About Gamora ever hooking up with Star-Lord again, or with Mantis, what is going to happen with her. Even with Drax, he already has his fulfillment where he wants to just help out this other race of people. So for me, that third movie was more like closure. So that way, outside of the whole MCU thing, James Gunn can walk away proud that he finished telling his story, and that whatever happened with Star-Lord's story, it's going to happen moving forward with whatever. And whenever they do come out with the next Avengers movie, because like it's been so delayed, who knows what's going to happen. But like I'm sure there was more people interested in the whole Rocket story than whatever is going to happen with Star-Lord, because he's going to be included with whatever is going to happen. But it kind of gave us more of a clear interpretation of whatever happened to his background for Rocket. Because like in the movie, we finally heard that he now acknowledged his name as Rocket Raccoon. Mm-hmm. In the end, I don't know if you guys understood that whole thing where we heard Groot saying, "I love you guys," but in reality, he said, "I am Groot." But because we heard him so much, that's what we heard through the film.
Yeah, you start understanding Groot. Yeah, so it's
right.
So it's possible that we'll see him again. Like he'll be speaking now, right? Like, so
right.
That was
it's those cool. Little things, And I agree. I wish I could hear more about like John C. Reilly's character from the first film, where he was part of, But I feel like what. I'm okay with this film, and I include that part of my top movie because, like, closure is the thing for me. Like it kind of closed up everything.
I'll tell you, man. Like I feel like we got a Guardians of the Galaxy 1. We got Star-Lord's intro story, right? Like he's abducted from Earth or whatever, like his mom, and we have that nostalgia. The whole music is his nostalgia, right? Guardians of the Galaxy 2, we meet his dad. That's also his story or whatever. So them bringing it to Rocket. I read Guardians of the Galaxy back in the day, and I don't remember them getting into that detail for Rocket. So and if they do or they did, whatever. But this was the first time that I saw like a backstory for him. And man, it got me, bro. It got me. Like the whole,
Did any of you guys cry in the film?
I don't think I did. I think I would admit I would remember.
I've heard stories.
I've heard stories. Hear his whole movie about Rocket.
All right, I heard people crying. That's why I'm asking. Like some people did cry, or it was too much. Like that whole scene, if you guys know what I'm talking about, where it's like it was too much for them to handle. But it was important for them to add that scene in the film.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts. And the whole him, and I thought, and this is what the thing, right? The whole movie had me thinking that Rocket was gonna die.
Bro, I thought everybody was gonna die. We got punked. I'm like, what happened?
First of all, how did Star-Lord not die? He got so swollen in outer space. I think all his blood vessels exploded, and that's why he got so swollen. How did you not die?
Because
you gotta remember, he's half celestial.
I know.
It happened, but this is the second time it happens. They showed it to us before.
Before he didn't swell up. He did. Yeah, he did. He got icy. He got icy. That's it.
Well, yeah, I guess. But
clearly, James wanted him to die.
I didn't want him to die. I wanted the story more about him.
Well, yeah, I agree. I thought somebody was going to die.
Yeah, it had me going because I'm like, they're going to save him and then he's just going to die with like whatever. But back to Star-Lord, right? At the end, right? And I don't remember if it was like post or end credit scene or whatever, right? But when he comes back to Earth, I'm basically like retiring, right? Like, let me go back to Earth or whatever. And they talk about this family or whatever. And I think there's a kid mowing the lawn, or a guy mowing the lawn or something. Is that Kang? Or what do you guys take from that? What do you mean? What? Nothing?
No. I don't take anything from it. It's just a guy mowing the lawn.
Okay.
His grandfather's just...
You're reaching, bro. No way.
I'm just asking. I mean, are we doing a podcast or what? I mean,
I don't know.
It's an actual question because the grandfather.
You got to get back to work, Rudy. No, bro. No, let's just save you from the embarrassment. No, that had nothing to do with that. Okay. Correct me, bro. Guys on YouTube, you guys have to see something. No, but Rudy,
let's put it this for that. I think all that did was it kind of solidified that if anyone returns, it's going to be Star-Lord. Nobody else. We're not going to see anybody else.
Rudy, if we're done with Guardians of the Galaxy, let's talk about Jonathan Majors being Kang, the Conqueror.
Let's do it.
You guys feel like he's still going to be the actor playing Kang?
Yeah, I think so. I think.
Yeah, and this whole writer's strike has nothing to do with him being with all these films being delayed and all this stuff.
I think it's the writer's strike that's delaying everything. Okay. I don't think there's a conspiracy behind it.
Because his agent dropped him. Yeah, there's a lot of stories about this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't really believe a lot of this stuff, but like it doesn't really look good for this guy right now at this point.
It feels like the James Gunn story all over again. That's what it feels like.
The whole story?
James Gunn.
And like him getting booted and then them asking for him to come back.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the latest that I saw is that he was dropped by his agency, right? And I was like, man, that's not good news. So
is there even a court date?
All right, can you guys elaborate what triggered this whole thing?
he beat his girl, supposedly. Supposedly he beat his girl. She retracted, I think she retracted her statement, or she retracted the initial call to the police and doesn't want to press charges, but I think it's still going, it might still be going forward.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the update yet on if there is still a court date set.
Well, the thing is that, I mean, like, some of the latest news is like them hanging out together, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, we've seen people get canceled, like wives, you know, being the victim, and then they get back together and the person's still canceled, right? Because of what they did. And I just don't know, man, if Disney, being Disney, would be able to, regardless of whether he did it or not, like, move forward, right? And yeah, the delay with the writer's strike is valid, but all these movies, bro, like the Avengers or the end of Phase 6, right? Sorry, end of Phase 5, start of Phase 6. It's supposed to be around this guy, right? So it'll be interesting to see if they do decide to drop him, like how are they going to solve for that? Or are they just going to do a quick old switcheroo and just put another guy, right?
Yeah, they could pull a roadie.
Yeah.
And it can happen. It's just that Disney's not being very transparent yet where they stand the whole Jonathan Mayers thing. Like, Kevin Feige could easily say something, put a tweet or something like, "Oh no, Jonathan Mayer's still with this. We're working on it. Oh, it's only because of the writer's strike." But all these things are happening right now, and they're not being very vocal on what's going on. And that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up, because like for those of us that have seen Ant-Man, like, or even the Loki series, like they've been really invested with this actor to play this character. Mind you, with the whole multiverse thing, they could change the actor very easily, and they could do that. Disney can't, they could do it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I agree, and
they're not saying anything though. That's the thing. I'm like, well, where does Disney stand on this with Jonathan Mayers?
And it's not only Disney, man. Like, Jonathan Majors is in everything, man. He was like,
bro, Creed 3. How do you guys see that movie? I just
Yes.
buy it on Prime on Amazon. It holds up. I liked it.
He makes the movie, bro. The way he acts,
yeah,
his facial expressions. That dude is a beast at acting. You know what I mean? And that's why everybody wants him. You know,
James, did you see the movie? Your reaction is not as at what I expected.
Well, here's why. Because I think the acting between Majors and
Could be Jordan.
yeah, it was amazing. The fight scene
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
was stupid. It was so stupid. I'm like, am I watching anime? What the fuck just happened?
Dragon Ball.
I'm like, what is this shit? I'm like, show me boxing. Don't show me anime.
I think half of the fight scene was slow mo.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's so stupid.
It was. I did say that I feel like that whole thing where like the whole crowd disappears and it's just center on them. I thought that was cool if they would have beat the shit out of each other, right? Like, I mean, it was a good idea and I thought it was cool still, right? But yeah, to your point, like fucking Rocky would fucking murder, right? And get murdered.
Maybe that's the point, because remember, it was a controversy already for this film because Sylvester Stallone wasn't in this movie. So they had to make it different, right? Because they can't have, because of the rights of the. Go ahead.
Listen, all they filmed was Rocky 3 with black people as the main characters. Because Rocky 3, he's going against someone gritty, hard, as in Mr. T. Okay, they took the same story and then just made it a little bit more personal.
So
That's it.
Clubber Lane, but my brother.
Clubber Lane, but my foster care family. So like every one of these Creed movies has its go in a Rocky story. Every single one. Mm-hmm. And this one is no different. They just took Rocky 3 and made it a little bit more personal to the Creed family. And they made and I love, don't get me wrong, I loved everything but the fight.
You know what? I agree with you only because like how are they making this into a legit story film? As I was watching it halfway through the film, I'm like, well, how are they gonna justify making this story? Right? They had to dig into a story about this guy having a gun and going to jail for him. Like, and I'm sorry for those of you who haven't seen the film, you should have seen it by now, but like again, it goes into lazy writing. Like, and what made Rocky so different, because like they kind of repeat the same story. We're like, oh well, Rocky did it with this underdog story, and like you weren't good enough, and that's how they justify making the fight in this new Creed 3 film. But you know, and again, it was like, how is this gonna work? The dude's already out of jail. He had no experience fighting other people, and they make it into this whole, you know, epic, you know, title event, which in real life that would have never happened. And then I agree with you with Rocky films, it was a little bit more grounded when they were making these stories. And when they came out with Creed 3, it was like, and again, I admit, it was like, okay, how are they going to make this work? How are they going to make this guy fight against Michael B. Jordan's character in the film? But I enjoyed it, but you're right. It wasn't as grounded as you would think with these other films in the past when you had Rocky making these movies with Sylvester Stallone. So maybe it's a little bit of the lazy writing that they had with Creed, because I feel like they could have been a little bit better with the writing and hyping up with Creed's opponent, Jonathan Mayer's character, to justify the fact that he earned the right to fight in the fight that he did, not just a little, oh, he knew this guy from jail, and you know, he kind of, you know, rigged the whole thing so that way he could fight.
Yeah. See, like the story was fine with me. Like the story was whatever. I think it's back to, and because these guys are such great actors that it makes the story come to life. But just to fight, man, like beat the shit out of each other, bro.
You honestly weren't thinking about that the whole time? Like, how is this justified for him to even get in the ring with the champion? Like, in real life,
but that's
you
the
know,
thing.
you don't see
like,
that.
No, of course not. But you know,
Here's, in my head, here's what they did. They took a story, let's say Mike Tyson's story, right? Mike Tyson goes to jail. Mind you, Mike Tyson was on the decline boxing-wise before jail. And then domestic violence, goes to jail, comes out, gets a fucking big payday to fight his first fight against some joke. And I think they took that and they just said, let's do the Tyson story, but with somebody that's never boxed before, that had once the ability when he was in the Golden Gloves, maybe he had potential to be a great fighter. And so they took that Mike Tyson story and they just exaggerated the fuck out of it and gave him a title shot.
Keyword. They exaggerated that because like maybe, and I'm okay with that. If they dragged the movie a little bit longer to build up that storyline, that would have justified the whole Creed 3 thing.
They could have just done a time jump.
Or even that too, you know? Like, hey, I'm not good enough to be in your gym. Screw you guys. Like Cartman, I'm going home. And then go to another gym, do his thing, and then come back and be like, what's up? In your face, you know? But that didn't happen. And I feel like, and I'm sorry, that's what I was thinking about. The whole time I was watching that film, I'm like, no, how is this going to work? How is it?
Yeah, but that would have not made the dude an antagonist. The antagonism comes from the blackmail, saying, "Hey, man, like him, like breaking the other guy's arm, right, and orchestrating that. If you would have waited a year for him to train, it's just another boxer. And what's the story? Where's the backstabbing there, right?
But for me, it was more believable.
You could have still had that backstabbing moment. What we're saying is, just do a time jump. 1 year. In that 1 year, you've been training, and meaning training and taking on opponents, not just training
to like get up to that point. Yeah,
and then when you're like right there on the footsteps to be going against to be champion, you break somehow. He breaks his arm, like how we saw in the movie. But just give us that. All we're asking for is that time jump, so that you can establish yourself as a ranked fighter. And then you're like, all right, so he worked his ass off. He fought every 2 months. That's unheard of. So in 1 year, he had fucking 6 fights. Something like that. I mean, just something simple, and then still have the backstabbing moment of him breaking. Somehow he broke his arm.
But see, to me, that would make him the hero, though. If you see a montage of him,
what's wrong with you, Rudy? No, man. Maybe in Guatemala, but not here in America. You do things right in a certain way, man.
You're not. It's similar to You don't remember Rocky 3?
Yeah.
You saw Mr. T coming up in the ranking, just beating people up and like viciously beating them up and like cheating and doing whatever. Like when they were down, he would probably kick them in the face if he had to.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm saying like you would have cut the same montage. We didn't think Mr. T was a good guy. He was a piece of shit. We just like the fact that he was from Chicago.
Yeah.
Here's your thought. Sorry, I pulled the finger up in the air.
I was rooting for Mr. T. Mario Baracus.
Hold up. How about we host a fight? Rudy against James.
But what did I do?
No,
it'll be funny, man.
I actually want to do that, but why don't you fight me?
No, sorry. This space cannot compromise any type of.
Oh, so you're admitting that it would take some damage? Yes.
yes. I don't trust you guys. You guys are cheaters.
I can't fight against James, bro. Like,
come on, look at that face. You don't want to.
Those guys have fucking AKs and shit, man. Like,
we don't believe in bullets. We believe in bombs.
Oh my god.
He's not fearing anything. He has like 21 virgins waiting for him, bro. Like,
it just doesn't.
And we're canceled on YouTube.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
It doesn't say male or female. That's what sucks.
That's what sucks. Yeah. And
you know what? Let's getting back on this rodeo. Where do you think the state of MCU is now?
Oh, honestly, for me, it's a hot mess.
For 2023, in my head, the only thing that's come out that's good is Spider-Man.
Fuck yeah, man.
Does that count though?
I mean, it's their story.
Now, are you talking about the Miles Morales Spider-Man?
No, I'm not talking about Across the Spiderverse. I'm talking about the last movie Marvel came out that was amazing. Was the trifecta of Spider-Man
with Doctor Strange?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I liked it because again, that's how these movies are making it, or how they're justifying their thing with nostalgia. For example, they brought in Tobey Maguire. They brought in Andrew Garfield. They included their story. They acknowledged it too, you know. And for me, it's not part of the MCU because it's part of Sony still. And that was the only way they were able to get away with this. But I don't see them building off of that until we see another trailer. Because, mind you, we haven't seen any announcements yet with Tom Holland coming back as Spider-Man yet. And there's rumors that he's already considered taking a break from acting. Like,
no,
he already did that?
I saw that.
He took a break.
Well, yeah, like when is this going to happen if it does? Because based on whatever rule they have, they're supposed to come out with a trailer soon. Or what's going to happen with Spider-Man?
Well, I don't think that break is going to apply to whatever contract he has if he has to make more movies, right? But
I don't see MCU surviving at this rate unless they bring back some old soldiers. And but the problem with that though, have you guys seen Robert Downey Jr. lately?
No.
Who, Lex Luthor?
He looks like he's sick. He
had to shave his head for that movie, though, isn't it?
No. He's gone complete vegan, and he looks very malnourished. Like I'm like, okay, so.
But it's safe to say he's not coming back as
Why not?
Tony Stark.
I think if he comes back as the AI, he'll be fine. We know it'll help us transition.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I could see that because if he comes back as an AI, they could make him look like he's 15 again because it's AI. And that's the only way that's going to work.
No, I'm talking about AI in the suit.
Yeah, he's talking about like Jarvis type thing, not like AI generated, but like Jarvis.
No, like be the AI in the suit. I'm talking
like his mentor. Like he'll walk in, he'll be like Gideon for the Flash. He'll be like, "Oh hey,
no, I don't want
Spider-Man."
that.
No, okay.
I want him to be the voice in Riri Williams' head. To be voice. Yeah, I think that's the
Okay.
way to transition to the next Iron art movie.
Well, that would be accurate considering how the comics work, because after the Civil War II, he was still there for as an AI to represent himself, right?
And like I want him the same smartass Tony Stark, but in a suit.
Not
that-
as a not as a big giant head.
No, fuck that stupid Ant-Man.
Oh, did we ever talk about MODOK, bro? Is he ever gonna come back as the what we wanted him to be?
No, why would he come? He should have never been in the movie. My point is this: if you cannot perfect the CGI to be somewhat entertaining to watch, don't use that character. Don't you? I mean, the way it looks so stupid.
Look like George Lopez, right, from Spy Kids. Admit it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And George Lopez is a naturally huge head. Man, George Lopez is like that.
Bro, but you know what? In the end, I kind of liked the movie, but I was disappointed with the whole big giant head thing with
That was
the MODOK.
that was stupid. I know what I liked about Ant-Man, that the ending when you saw him back walking on the streets. I'm completely in belief that that was a dream.
That
I don't
Kang,
think that was real.
yeah, that Kang is
Like,
still in charge. Like Kang is
Yeah,
still in
like-
charge. We see him get
like-
beat by ants, but like nothing ever happened. It's
Right.
And
You know,
it could be.
and I really like the way they portrayed Kang. Like, this is a guy,
Yeah.
you cannot easily beat, This guy went full on with an army and everything. Ant-Man tried to do everything he can. But then at the after credit scenes, which, by the way, and that whole, there's this one sequence that you see the guy from Fantastic Four did where he drops down into the, which kind of, confirms the...
Every time you raise your finger in the air,
Oh, I know, and that's why I'm doing it.
every
And
time
I'm not gonna say his name.
you're getting a fucking horn.
Anyways, that confirms his lineage with the Reed Richards from Fantastic Four.
I mean, yes. Like I don't understand how they can recast him. He did too good of a job as Kang.
They've done it before.
yeah.
But I don't think. But before wasn't like the main guy. You're taking the main guy out of the Kang dynasty. The damn
But-
Avengers 5 is going to be called Kang Dynasty.
You can't. I don't want to get too political with this, but Disney is famous for changing actors in their roles, and I know not for the main ones, but the way I don't want to say cancel culture, but that's
Yeah.
that's what's going on right now. And the fact that Disney hasn't even acknowledged the fact that he's been arrested, that there's been charges, and they haven't said anything yet about the recasting or that he's been solidified as the actor moving forward. Until they say something, that's still up for grabs right now. Anybody can be Kang at this point.
The one thing that I feel like Disney has going for them in switching actors is because I think we've only seen them in like two things, right? Which is Loki for like a few episodes, right? And Ant-Man, right? So like it's not like changing Iron Man after 20 years, right? Or Captain America, even though they did the transition. But you know what I mean? Like we fell in love with these characters. Kang, I know us comic book guys, like are deep into it, but really if they switch the actor, would you be mad? Or just, I mean, I think it's, with the Avengers movies coming up.
Let's put it this way. Okay. It depends on how they recast and who they recast. Because going back to Guardians, the High Evolutionary, I could have picked somebody different. Because I don't think he did a good job. I don't think he was that menacing. He didn't really instill fear in anything. Size-wise, he's tiny.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't think that out of all the ones that you could have picked, that was the right choice. I would have picked someone more physically bigger, just someone more intimidating. You could even used, I don't know, a wrestler that we know, or anybody to be more menacing.
Like
They would have done it
Peacemaker?
better. Like I'm thinking about like if they use Undertaker as the High Evolutionary, like that's the image I want to see. I want to see someone huge, big, scary looking, and a genius at the same time.
Maybe that's part of the reason why when James Gunn did this film, if you haven't noticed, he used a lot of actors he used in his previous films, which I'm not surprised why he used the actors he's used. Which going back to the Flash, there's a lot of people you see that.
Stop talking about the Flash.
I'm sorry, man, but we gotta bring it up, man. It's like if you're down with James Gunn, he's gonna put you in a movie, man.
You're gonna ruin it for this guy. Just let
I'm
him
sorry,
watch it.
Rudy. You gotta watch the film, man. It's like there's so many other things. Like I'll tell you this: Ratcatcher's in the film.
Okay.
Just shut up. Just stop talking. There's other movies we got to talk about.
All right, what are we talking about right now?
You were asking about the state of the MCU. Like, how do we feel about the MCU?
Oh, okay.
And let me just tell you that I in the last couple of weeks, I've kind of rewatched the Avengers movies. Maybe like all phase 3, phase 4. Plus, we got to talk about Indiana Jones because seen those too. But anyway,
You saw it already?
no. I'm just saying the old ones. It hasn't even come out. But anyway, those movies are so good, man. Endgame is so fucking good, and I was like rewatching them and like nitpicking little things or whatever, but those movies are good. And when you think about like how are they going to recreate that in the next couple phases, it's probably not. I don't think it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Well, do you think it's not going to happen because we're not going to have the same characters or actors involved? Because like we're never going to see Chris Evans again or Robert Downey Jr.
Right. And,
Or,
it has to be executed. Yeah.
I think Chris Evans is coming back.
Really?
I think he'll come back. I don't think he's coming back this year or next year. I think we can say maybe 2026 is the next time we'll see him. Because I think if they make a Nomad movie about his time going back and putting all the gemstones away,
That's
be
a Disney Plus movie or show at least.
Oh man, it depends on how you intertwine it with some of the backstories that we never really understood. So remember that scene in Winter Soldier when Nick Fury's running away from all those guys chasing him, and a big semi hits one of the bad guys' cars. That could have been Captain America Nomad, who actually like interfered but wasn't caught interfering.
Yeah, you're reaching for that one, but
I'm saying like, there's ways of intertwining the story.
no, yeah, I see that, but I feel like it's very unlikely, and the only reason why is money. Disney is canceling stuff, they're delaying stuff, and for them to add another one, and I agree, it'll make a lot of money if they make another one with Chris Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, don't see that happening because they can't afford them.
Here's what's going to... Okay, so look at what's coming up next. So we have the Marvels next, right?
I don't have high
I
expectations
wish
for that
Zaya
either.
was in this one, guys, because he would have had his opinion on that.
Low expectations for that.
Very.
Right?
Right.
So and mind you, anything else that's coming out is pretty much Disney Plus stuff. Almost everything. We have X-Men 97, which I really can't wait for. What If is coming out. Echo is going to be Disney Plus. Ironheart, Disney Plus. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, Disney Plus. Daredevil, Born Again, Disney Plus. Not till Deadpool 3.
Don't forget about Loki season 2.
Loki season 2. Everything.
Yeah.
After that is all Disney Plus. We're not getting another movie till Deadpool 3, and that needs to be so phenomenal. Everything at this point, everything falls on Deadpool 3 for the MCU's future. If Deadpool 3 flops money wise, it's gonna fuck up a lot of shit.
Did you guys hear about Deadpool 3 about how because because of the writer's strike, Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to improvise.
No, they just stopped filming.
They did?
They went on a hiatus.
Okay. Because I feel like what made this movie, all the movies he makes, it's because of his improv.
Yeah.
He throws in those things that just makes it good.
In all honesty, everything's been put on hold until this writer's strike gets done. So whatever has been filming has paused.
Yeah, I don't think they would pull that away, Rolly, because that, like you said, that is Ryan Reynolds. Like, like if you take that element, and it's like Will Ferrell, like they, but anyway.
Oh, that's a nice one. You guys, I'm sorry with the finger. You guys, what do you guys feel like if Will Ferrell could play a comic book character, what would it be?
Oh, I like this game. Will Ferrell.
And it can't be Deadpool because we already got Ryan Reynolds, right?
Oh, he's not going to be like that kind of character.
Well, he can, but
Will Ferrell, Deadpool now, bro. Like he would be more like
my version of Will Ferrell is playing
Joker.
No.
Where do you want me to
think
go?
about it. Think about it, though.
Are we going MCU or are we going DC?
It could be anything. A comic book in general. It can't be Pitt because that's still a little too violent for Will Ferrell.
He seems like a Spider-Man bad guy, man, like the Lizard or Doc Ock. Like he would play that character, like anything with like a scientist robe, and like
Really? But can we take him seriously as a scientist, though?
Why? Because you'll be a crazy fucking scientist, man, spitting his comedy and shit, and you're like, man, he's so adorable and shit until he turns into a
Or like the villain from like the Miles Morales Across the Spiderverse.
Remember
What's
how
his
they
name?
used
Black Dot.
Black Dot. Yeah, that would be a good one.
That would have been
like,
good,
that's
right?
a perfect, type of character, like a.
I don't see him that way. Like I don't see him as like a person with abilities.
Well, here's the thing, though.
We gotta do this every podcast. We gotta come up with an actor, and it's like, what character will he play? I like this, man.
Do you guys remember how when what's his name from Brokeback Mountain played the Joker, and everybody was like, "No, it's not gonna work.
Ledger?
This is horrible." Yeah.
I like that. That's the reference you have for him.
Well, yeah.
Not the Joker, right?
Okay.
You guys know what I mean. So
wait, I'm looking at the movies right now that are coming out from now till God knows when. I could see him playing. Okay, so in Armored Wars they're bringing back what's his name? Who's Tony Stark's antagonist? That also
Armie Hammer.
I could see him playing his scientist. That helps him put things together. I don't see him with somebody with abilities. I see him as the scientist. I could see him as J. Jonah Jameson, probably. The politician from Winter Soldier.
Dude, he would have been the perfect MODOK, bro. If they would have put Will Ferrell, bro. If they would have fucking had Will Ferrell, Ant-Man would have been the shit.
Bro, that would have been perfect, man. And I was all in for him doing that. That would have been awesome.
Oh, we should start a petition, bro. Let's replace fucking MODOK. Let's bring him back.
Make him Red Hulk. I'd rather have him be Red Hulk.
Can you imagine seeing his face, like his beady eyes and shit, like just like?
No, I think that MODOK shit was so stupid.
All right, that's it for me for Will Ferrell being in the MCU or DCEU, whatever.
But yeah, so like you were saying, we have several shows, right, that if executed correctly can set up really good for Phase 6 and the next Avengers movies. But I just think a lot of pieces have to fall into place for them to be the Avengers that we know, man.
How much do you think Secret Invasions is going to alter the future?
That's a good one. Let me tell you this. Let me share this with you guys.
Let me give you one more question, and you can add.
All right.
It's regarding Secret Invasions. Is there anyone that's going to shock you when they come out being a Skrull?
Hold on. Before you guys go any further, James, when you share that link to us about the Secret Invasion first trailer, whatever, I shared it with a lot of the youth that they're younger than us, right, under their 20s.
Yeah.
Everybody was hyped about this TV series. They were all excited about this. They were all like intrigued about it, which tells me like there's still an opportunity for the MCU to grow, with whatever that's happening right now. But if they do this right, they could really launch again to where how Iron Man started, where with whatever's just going to happen moving forward. So basically, what I'm saying is that people are very interested in what's going to happen in the MCU based on this TV series on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it has potential to really shake up the future and who each character is. What I'm hoping Rhodey is a Skrull. I'm hoping when he fell, when Vision hit him with the beam, he actually died, and Nick Fury
got replaced.
Nick Fury sent the Skrull because he knew how much that would affect Tony Stark. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's a stretch, but I can see that happening.
We were guessing.
That
Stretch these nuts.
It's a good question, man. Who do you think, man? Like, I'm still thinking. Like, I'm just trying to go back. Because
Is anyone that you're thinking, man, what if this guy's a fucking Skrull this whole time?
see, like maybe I would say that if anybody like shady characters or man, maybe Rhodey.
But that's a good theory, though, because they could really use that, specifically Rhodey, only because he got replaced with that actor, and only the audience sees that. I mean, they could really make it work.
Wait. So you're saying he's been a Skrull since Iron Man 2?
Yeah, ever since they changed the actor, and that could work. That could work.
I was saying Captain America: Civil War when he falls out.
I'm going way back after Iron Man 1. They replaced the actor. That could work because it was like, oh, no wonder he looks different, but everybody else sees him as Rhodey.
What James is saying though that they show a scene where Rhodey dies, right? And that's when they do the switcheroo. Like what? In what moment would have then done the switcheroo before, though? Or are you just saying just because?
Yeah, because that would make the sense why he survived that crash.
What crash? Because you're saying Iron Man 2. What crash?
I'm saying when he crashed
when he crashed, he still survived. But why need the prosthetics?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Why need
because you gotta fake it till you make it.
Who the fuck is a Skrull? The guy, the head of the fucking intelligence that
Shield,
that wanted to make the superheroes fucking be in a union or whatever, unionized. Remember, that's what Captain America: Civil War happened.
Oh,
Robert Redford's character.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I forget his name.
You're watching too many novellas, Rudy.
That's not Civil War.
That is Civil War.
Yeah,
that's Winter Soldier.
No, Civil War is when Captain America,
Robert Redford was in there
against each other because one of them believed that superheroes need regulations and the other ones don't.
No, that's not Robert Redford. Robert Redford was in Winter Soldier.
No, that's not Robert. Oh, yeah, isn't it Robert Redford? He wasn't
No, you're talking about the guy that's going to become Red Hulk.
No.
No,
Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, that's that dude's dead.
Yeah, Robert Redford was not in Civil War.
Hold on, I'm checking IMDb because I don't trust you guys.
So remember the scene where Rhodey, and not this is what I think about, where Rhodey's talking to him. I think in Endgame, and then he was a hologram the whole time. That guy.
That's not Robert. That's Red Hulk. That's Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh my god! Then this fucking edible is kicking in.
You guys should pay attention to Tropical Thunder.
Robert Redford is the guy that comes in to take the scepter in Avengers.
Yes.
Yes.
Are we talking about Tropic Thunder? Because that movie can never be made again.
What I'm saying about Tropic Thunder, you never should go full retard like the way you two.
You can't say that either.
Yeah, I did. Retard. Look at that. It just came out of my mouth.
Bro, how awesome was that movie, man?
Stop.
Like,
Don't change the subject. Let's clear the situation first. Robert Redford was in Winter Soldier. He was not in Civil War, and he was not in the CGI in Endgame
You were
or
correct.
in Infinity War. I know I'm correct.
Yeah, I just heard Robert Redford and I was like, yeah, like.
Rudy got all excited. That's not what happened.
But anyway, Rolly, who do you think who's your scroll?
No, I kind of it would make sense about Rhodey being a Skrull. Off the top of my head, even Nick Fury can be a Skrull, or he is, right? Because it's been confirmed with the other show or other film. What was it where it wasn't really him because Nick Fury's in outer space? What was it?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Second Spider-Man.
So
And
at this point,
him and Rhea Hill were played by Skrulls, but it showed us that they weren't Skrulls. That there's still a human version.
right?
What if Sam Wilson, bro? Because he doesn't have any special abilities.
But he's
Honestly,
Captain America, man.
That would be huge. That would be a better plot.
Right,
Like, could
because-
you make Captain America?
That's racist, guys. You can't say that.
He's not black. He's green.
No, but
It's Sam Wilson, not freaking Hulk.
Yeah, no, Skrulls are green.
but both Rhodey and Sam Wilson don't have any like special abilities. Like they're just regular humans that could be imitated, right? I mean,
Hawkeye.
Can we talk about Hawkeye's actor in itself? How he had that accident?
Yeah, it was gross.
It was insane, man.
Yeah.
That guy was not supposed to live
I
through
think he's-
whatever happened.
He's back at work already, I believe.
Yeah, he's already walking around and everything, but the thing he went through, bro, it was insane. It was like he was not meant to survive that. And the fact that he was able to get rescued in that short amount of time.
He's never going to be the same. Like I don't think he's ever going to do action scenes. Let's say because I think before he was very hands-on.
Like Tom Cruise?
Yeah, like very Tom Cruise-esque. And I think now it's going to be like, no, get someone else. I can't do that.
I mean,
it sucks.
I could fill in for him if he wants. Just send a check over,
Oof.
We thought MCU was struggling before. Now it's really going to plummet.
You guys are jerks.
I mean, look, there's a lot of potential in the movies that are coming up, but they're not coming out till. I mean, I can't believe Captain America has been pushed back to 2024.
All right, thoughts on that with the name of the movie being changed?
Yeah, what is it now? It's not New World Order. It is A Brave New World.
Something like that, yeah.
The only thing
So,
that's got me
They're not down with the NWO. What happened?
no Wolfpack here. I think between Captain America and Thunderbolts, I think there are going to be two movies that are just literally telling the same story, like intertwined. It's pretty much going to be a part one, part two. They have a lot of great people coming back, which gives us that nostalgia feel that we like. But I can't see Sam Wilson as Captain America. Like,
I'll be honest.
in my head,
From
it should have been Bucky.
Yeah, I agree with James on that. It's not a racial thing. It's just like it didn't make sense for somebody that did not have any
Thanks for
powers.
clarifying that.
Bro, I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be politically correct or anything, but a guy whatever color he has no powers to be Captain America.
Yeah.
Bucky has that ability to hold up the mantle of being a superhero. I feel like it was something that got pushed for him to be Captain America, where unless give him the superhero serum, then I'll be okay with it. But if he doesn't,
but I think
it has to be Bucky.
That's what Disney's doing now. Disney's changing everything that was once white to black, or once was white to Hispanic.
And whatever, that's fine. But if you don't have that power ability, don't do that.
Don't force feed anything. If you want to create a new story and a new character and make him whatever you want to make him, I'll follow it 100%. But if you have a good story and the people have backed the story for 50 years now, why are you changing it dramatically? Just so you can hit a checkbox and bring in more demographics in so you can put more money in your pocket? People are going to come because the story is good. Changing someone from being straight to gay, black to white, white to Hispanic, it's not needed. Just tell the story that it was once written. Would you change Gone with the Wind to make it all opposite, where it's black owners and white slaves? No. Well, you're not going to change stories just to fulfill a box that you guys want to make more money on.
Rudy, thoughts on this?
It's hard. It's I don't mind.
It's hard, but
I don't
you have
mind
to be honest.
I get what you're saying. I don't mind the change. But to support Rolly's point, right? Like, it's nothing to do with color. And I don't mind a black Captain America. He's just a regular human, right? Like, it doesn't make him Captain America. He doesn't have the super soldier serum, right? So it's hard to kind of
justify,
right? Because of that, and and I feel horrible saying it, but it's just what it is, right? But with the other thing, it works sometimes, right? To make a little change here and there, right? Like even within comic books, we've seen different artists and writers do different things and different storylines, right? So I think that, they can do the same in the MCU, right? And if you want to be more diverse, but, stay true to the original essence, right?
You know what I use as an example? The best example of what I picture when it comes to comic books is Spider-Man. Spider-Man has always been white guy, Peter Parker. You can create a Spider-Man and make him Hispanic and black and Miles Morales and still be a great fucking story. You don't have to purposely change Peter Parker to Peter Jackson or Peter Lopez.
Yeah, so that's a good example, right? How they just created something new. Great fucking story. It still ties to the fucking original, right?
Everything is perfect about it,
right? Right. So I get that, right? But like you said, yeah, it's the dude has the powers, right? If they would have switched Spider-Man or Peter Parker to a black Peter Parker, but can't shoot webs and can't fucking climb. I mean, like, like it has a mechanical suit that does all that. Like, it's not the same thing as him having in his blood, right? So, but whatever.
Well, even in the original movies, when they came out with Tobey Maguire, like he organically shoot out the webs, and that was a big deal too, right?
That's all fine because he still has abilities,
right?
The only ability Sam Wilson has is amazing tech,
right? That is not even that he didn't even create. Right.
He didn't even make that.
which makes Andrew Garfield the better Spider-Man. I'm sorry, I'm saying it right now. I feel like he was a better Spider-Man because Tom Holland's Spider-Man had the help from Tony Stark to get a better suit. But Andrew Garfield, he made it on his own.
Hey, he made one at the end. Tom Holland made one at the end.
Yeah, but it doesn't count. Doesn't count because he got exposed.
Tom Holland beat Vulture with his fucking hoodie suit.
Yeah.
Like with his,
I prefer, listen, I have nothing against any Spider-Man ever come across. So you can bring back anyone you want. Just make the story good.
Yeah, it's not. You're right.
I agree. And I think everybody here can agree. If you're going to make a change, make it or justify with the story you're going to tell us. You know,
Like,
don't just do it just to do it. You know.
If you take Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield, they're both shitty fucking movies. Let's be honest. They're shitty. The only thing good about the Andrew Garfield one, we got that crazy scene where Gwen Stacy dies.
Oh, the thump.
Yeah, that's
Just that 2 words. The thump. Kind of like whoa, like it kind of made it like wow.
Yeah.
No, come on. I mean, I'm serious because I saw that movie with my wife and it was like, dude, and it was like, oh wow, she's dead.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I think the surprise movie that's coming up that's gonna really probably win, and it has low expectations, is going to be Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolts. I think it has low expect. It does have low. I mean, like, look at who's starring in it. All the B characters from all the movies is starring as the main guys, and I think it's going to be pretty much a winner because of how low the expectations are.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I was also hoping the same for the Marvels or whatever, because it's like my expectations are so low that I hope I walk in there and I'm like my head is blown, you know, like. But
hold on, Rudy, do you want Kamala Khan to die?
What?
In the Miss Marvels?
No.
Why do you want her to die?
Because Gwen Stacy died in the Spider-Man movies, and that to only make it better is to have her die. You think?
You want one of the Marvelettes to die, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, let's go with that one.
No, because I feel like they can't kill her, because I think there's a potential for a Young Avengers.
So in the comics, there is a comic where she dies.
Oh,
she dies in Spider-Man's arms. I'm just saying.
Fuck. Damn.
So I don't know. I don't.
But would it be a bad thing though?
No, I mean if the story's good.
No, see, because like there's no benefit of her dying because she's not a beloved character. There's no benefit. Mm-hmm. There's no like, oh my god scene. Oh my god, she's dead. Okay, I'm like, all right, cool, she's dead.
Mm-hmm. That's cold-blooded, guys.
Yeah, if anything, you know,
it would have to be someone like let's say Secret Invasions. If Nick Fury gives up his life at the end of Secret Invasions, you're gonna be like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. Like that's gonna be impactful type of situation. Or if Rhodey dies and that's when you find like we don't know Rhodey's a Skrull till the last scene of the 6th episode, and then when he dies, he just transforms. They're like, holy shit, this whole time we didn't even know it.
Man, that'll be crazy if that starts happening.
Yeah. That's pretty deep. Like from The Boys deep.
I think that new season's starting soon, right?
Oh, man. Who else is excited for that new season for The Boys?
Yeah, we're excited. Hey, are you buzzing, Rolly?
What? That doesn't even make sense. All I'm drinking is just water. Cheers.
I don't know what else is in that water.
That's awesome. I like this podcast.
Yeah, when is the Boys starting, guys?
Is it season
5
4?
minutes later. Is it season 4?
Yeah.
And I heard a rumor where you guys are pulling that up that Jensen is
until 2020
considered being the new Batman.
Who?
Thoughts on that one? Jensen Ackles from Supernatural.
I think he's voiced him in some of the animations.
Right, but they're considering him as being a new Batman.
How many? We don't need any more Batman.
Isn't he super short?
What's short for you, Rudy?
5'9".
Suck
it. 2 inches.
Jensen Ackles is 6'1". Jensen Ackles is 6'1".
Hey,
okay.
Can we pause a second? I gotta take a piss.
Go for it.
I bet you do there, Beard. Whatever.
Yeah.
Back from Rolly's pee break. What are we?
Wow. Okay.
So the
So
MCU, I mean, let's put it this way: the MCU's got an uphill climb. DCU is playing with house money because they have.
DCU is so unpredictable, bro. We don't know what's gonna happen.
That's the thing. They're playing with house money because they're using the excuse, well, it's not James Gunn's timeline yet. That's why. So like they have a permission slip signed.
waiver.
MCU's got a fucking. They got to make sure whatever movies are hitting the blockbuster, the box office, is going to be a blockbuster, because I can't see people keeping on to their jobs much longer if these movies are not even making a profit.
yeah.
So that's my take on MCU.
But man, the Spider-Man one, the Across the Multiverse or whatever, or the Spiderverse.
That ending, I did not expect that ending.
Yeah.
And to leave us on a cliffhanger. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
That movie
Nobody saw that. Yeah.
That movie was perfect, bro. Even I was like getting deep into like even the way how they animated the movie, and like how they animated some of the characters differently, and it's like there's not a moment that movie doesn't fucking is doing a change or something, and this is why it captivates you. Plus the story's fucking good. So man, like definitely 10 out of 10 for me. But best movie so far.
I think how they use Spider-Man 2099, amazing. Hinting at his backstory, perfect. Even the cameo of Ben Reilly being Adam Sandberg, didn't mind. Like, I mean, that was cool. Every part of that movie I loved.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Can we talk about the controversy?
There was?
Oh yeah. So there's a rumor out on the internet where Gwen Stacy is transgender.
See, that's just people making up shit.
So that she's okay. So that she's
like, for what?
But what are the
Well,
bases on that? Like what's the
Let me elaborate on that. So there's a screenshot where on the background says Trans Lives Matter in the background, and her color scheme is the color of the transgender flag, which I already know. It's what the character already has been solidified in the comics. But now I honestly feel they're fishing. But now Sony has been very quiet about this, though, because they haven't really confirmed or denied this whole thing. But that Gwen Stacy is transgender.
And doesn't that hurt the female demographic? Meaning like they had a strong female character that led her own storyline in comic books. Now you're going to tell us she was actually born a man and is trans.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
And I think
people are saying.
Doesn't that hurt the female line?
And I was gonna say, I believe in this particular movie, I mean, Gwen Stacy's only like 15, 16 years old. And
older.
and we see her with her dad and whatever. So I don't know. I don't think Sony would cross the.
She's in college. She's in college.
I thought she was like, okay.
She's older than Miles. That's why Miles is after her. But she thinks the younger guy. Like Miles is like 15. She's probably like 18, 19.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She was like 16. But, you know, and what I was going to say, would Sony cross the line of making a kid a transgender person, right? Like, you know, and that's why I don't think that is. But if she's older in the show, in the movie, maybe. I don't know. But I just didn't see anything. I will have to see that scene again.
Yeah. After I saw that rumor and I was watching the film, I was looking for it, like trying to see where is this at, right? Mm-hmm. But I never saw it, and whatever, right? If it's there, it's there. But
and Kang at the end of Guardians was crazy.
You know? Wait, what?
I said Kang at the end of Guardians 3 was crazy. You know, like this is a reach for me. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's been going on social media, specifically on Twitter, where they're talking about this. But I honestly don't see it. But if it was there, you know, I don't think Sony would try to risk going through that. Kind of like Bud Light going through their things with the whole transgender thing. But I don't know. I don't think that's something. I feel like people are just reaching at this point.
Yeah, and if you guys know, you out there listening, and you have more info, because this is the first I hear about it. But yeah, let us know in the comments too, and let us know like also what you want to hear about, right? If we get, I'm gonna watch The Flash tomorrow, so maybe next time we can get a lot deeper if you want to hear more about that, or what do you think about the MCU's current state, right?
I can't wait to hear your reaction to Flash, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I think Rudy needs to do a monologue on his reaction for The Flash.
All right.
Stay tuned for the
do
monologue.
you agree? Do you agree on that?
You know how you should film it, like a documentary, like you're on scene, like here I am, moments before I've just seen Flash.
It's like a story about Rudy Castillo, narrated by Rudy Castillo. No, I should get somebody else to narrate it, man. Narrated by Rolly. Oh my god.
As you see the big Rudy going into the the theater.
And we see him eating his popcorn.
Wait,
Extra
one more
butter.
thing. One more thing. Sorry, not the finger. 5 fingers up in the air. What are your thoughts on the whole Punisher thing changing their logo?
What's the new logo?
It's not the same one. It's totally different. Like, if you get a chance, Google it right now.
Punisher new logo?
Is it just a black fist, like Black Lives Matter?
No. So let me give you a little background on
Oh, it
this.
has like the horns.
Yeah. So people were complaining that a lot of people were using that as their thing, right? So
Can you share it on
yeah, you might want to drop that in there. So now there's a change with the logo and the character in itself, where it's no longer the same logo like before. Now there's horns on it too.
All right.
Is it maybe because he's going to be part of Born Again?
No, I feel like it has to do with the fact that a lot of people are using that logo if they're not for like
Really?
political reasons. Yeah, dude, you gotta check it out. So now they're changing the logo for Punisher, so that way
this
nobody
is-
else uses that.
This is a new logo right here.
That's
Check it out.
weird.
Oh yeah, the one with the horns.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, and I feel like it is something we should talk about because, like, because people think it's not because everybody that's not for this political reason are using that as their sticker or emblem or logo, whatever. So they went up and changed it. And now I think there's a story out there where the Punisher's going to die.
We'll
In the comic
tackle
books.
that on the next episode.
Yeah,
But
it's food for thought,
Yeah.
That's a lot to unravel.
Gotcha. Damn.
Man,
Yeah.
I just-
Yeah. We'll see
You
it
guys
for next
seriously didn't know about this?
time. No, this is the first time I hear about it, man. I'm
Oh my gosh, this is like months already.
like, wow, man. That's why we have you. We need to have you more often, bro.
You guys
See,
are
this, is why
horrible.
this is why we brought you back, Kiwi.
All right. So before we close, any last thoughts, gentlemen?
I hope we do this again. I was very pleased with everything we've talked about. Some good, some bad, some ugly. And I can't wait for the next one.
For sure.
Yeah, me too. I'm happy to be, jumping in right now, and I think we should do this more often and talk about the stuff that's happening, not just in the movies, but what's happening outside of it too, because there's a lot of things going on that a lot of people might not know about, but it's important for us to know so that way we'll be aware about it. And plus, we have a certain expectation what to look for whenever we're seeing these movies too as well, because I feel like with this podcast it's more about just whatever we see on TV or on the screen, but share about how we feel about these topics or the story that are coming out. More importantly, like the Flash, for example, I feel like they could have done with like the Flashpoint paradox, but they didn't do it. Rudy?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I love anything that shocks me. I love theories. That's why I like talking about these things.
Well,
right?
if you want to get shocked, I don't know if you want to go for this, but
Oh! I would be shocked if that thing was over like 3 inches. But anyway. Oh.
It would have been like he pulled down his pants. All you hear is.
I'm like, okay, I'm still ready. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Please share, like, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. And Side Geeks out. Be cool.